everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and this is the item that we are going to be creating today. I am in love with this. I don't know if you can be in love with a thing, but I'm in love with this. I think it turned out so beautiful. She is one of my dancing butterflies, and I know you've seen this butterfly before, but I did her a little bit differently this time. You'll see what I did. You can see some differences already, I'm sure. But she is much, much bigger than my usual butterflies. I mean, I can this is one of my large butterflies that I usually do. So this is what I consider a large butterfly. So you can see how much bigger she is. She covers my entire hand. And then I also added one of my dragonflies to the top. This is a wall hanging, and it is stunning. It's got all these beautiful dangles on the right wing, or her left wing. And oh my word, you guys, look at the beauty that is in this gorgeous dancing butterfly and dragonfly. So stay tuned. Please stay and watch it to the very end, you guys. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And make sure you give it a thumbs up and a comment down below. Because you guys are really, really helping me by doing that. On those days that you guys do that for me, I'm telling you, I make more money those days because YouTube notices and they put more of my videos up. That's how I get them to put my other videos up, you guys, is by you guys liking my videos and making comments on them. So I appreciate each and every one of you that does it every single week without fail. What would I do without you? Yeah, you guys, you're really helping me. Everybody's helping me by making those comments and those likes, and I appreciate you. So thanks a lot. Don't forget to do it for this one, and let's get going. I'm going to show you a short video of this hanging because I want you to see what it looks like in a hanging position, and you can see the sparkle in this beauty. Look at all that sparkle from the glass glitter. So yeah, let's get going, guys. Can't wait to get her done. Okay, so let's get started here. I am going, this could be a long project, you guys. I'm just saying. This is one that I'm doing differently than I've done any of my other ones. As you can see here, I've got the two butterflies. This is the big one. I cut the top part of her off and her leg. It didn't hurt, I promise. And she's going to sit on top like that. So I do use the smaller ballerina as my, my visual on these. So just so that you guys know, it works best to use the small ballerina, because if you try to use the big one, which was what I tried to do the first time I made one of these, it did not look good at all. I'm trying to get some of this extra glue off of her here. But anyway, using the big one, it makes her body and everything just look out of proportion. So I went ahead and used the smaller ballerina in the small butterfly to keep on these projects, and trust me, it looks a lot better. If somebody else can find another way to make the big one look better, by all means do it, and if you'd send me a picture of it, I would greatly appreciate it. But I just could not do it. It just didn't look right. It looked completely out of proportion. And so I went with my my gut, and I used the small butterfly. So anyway, so I've already cut these out. These are the butterflies that I used, the images that I used to make these. I used two of the big ones, and here's what I mean when I say mirror images. You need one facing that way and one facing that way so that you can flip them over back to back, and you've got your matching butterfly on both sides. So that's what I mean when I say you need mirror images. If you want to do front and back. If you don't care about having front and back, it doesn't matter. Honestly, this is going to be a wall hanging piece. So I don't really need both sides done, if I'm being realistic. But I also wanted to, you can see the insides of these are all colored with this little marker that I got from the Dollar Tree. And these are U-Brands dry erase markers. And I just bought a little package of these. It had like 4 or 5 colors. And this color just happened to work perfectly with this butterfly. So, and then I did use a little bit of black around the outside in certain spots, but not much. So anyway, because you guys know I don't like the white edges, and honestly, just using the green marker would have been plenty. But anyway, so we're going to be putting these together, but this time, what I did was ahead of time, I cut them out. You guys have seen me cut them out before, so I didn't want to waste your time with that part of it. You know how to cut, you know, fussy cut something out. And then I glued them in the middle on both of these butterflies. But you see, I left the outsides unglued. So there was a reason for that. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to take some time, so I'm not going to make you guys kind of really sit through everything. But you can see my marking is not perfect on the inside of these, and I didn't want it to be. I was just fine with just a kind of a abstractish markings on the insides of these wings. I even got a little bit of black on the inside of this one. I'm not worried about that either. So what we're going to do now, the hard part and the long part, is we're going to first make sure that we match the direction. So this one's facing this way, we would need this one facing this way when we put these together. So make sure you're paying attention to that. So this is the back side of her, and let's see, this is the back side of the other one. So, and you'll see I had to color the arms and the leg over here in the green too, but you're not going to see that because this butterfly's on top, and that part of the butterfly doesn't even show once you put everything together. So it really doesn't matter that much, but I did want it to be green so that it didn't like show up real bad, because there is going to be that on the back side. Again, doesn't really matter because well, actually, that's the front. This is the back. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be a wall hanging, so I'm not worried about that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my BS resin, UV resin, and I just want to tell you guys, big shout out to my friend Sherry Lorang. She sent me a big 1,000-gram box of BS resin for my birthday. I had my birthday last weekend. And it comes with some sticks and some cups and a big, huge bottle of resin. You can see it in there. Which, what I did was I was almost out of my BS resin. So I took some from that bottle and I poured it into one of my little bottles. And I'm saving my little bottles of this. I'm going to clean all of them up, you know, around the top. And I'm going to fill each one of them with this resin kind of ahead of time so that they're ready to go, because these are tiny bottles, which I love. This is what I love about this resin. These are tiny bottles. You guys, I have little hands and I have arthritis in my hands. So these are very helpful with me to be able to use them and squeeze them and all of that stuff. So I'm saving these bottles probably forever and ever. But this is the resin that I really do love. Very, very few bubbles, and if you torch it, honest to goodness, there have been several items that I didn't get any bubbles at all, and that's a first. But anyway, these are the torches that I use. I buy these on Amazon, and I think they come in a box of like 5. Let me show you what the box looks like, because I do have that right nearby. And I've already pulled all of them out. This is what the box looks like. They're called Happy Life. And you just fill them up with your butane. And I buy this at a dollar store locally here, because you can't, I don't think you can order butane online. But anyway, I buy a can of this and it lasts a very, very long time, you guys. And as they run out, all you have to do is take your butane, and I'm going to show you this right here while we're here. You pop this upside down, take the top off for your butane, and you can see it's got just a poker. The poker goes into the bottom of your torch, and you press down, and you can hear it. Until you can watch the butane rise in these bottles. And there, I've got a full one there. This one needs some too. And that first squirt does the best. It puts the most in there, and I guess after a while the pressure kind of runs out and it doesn't. Now this one's absolutely full. So that's all it took. And this can is still probably at least halfway full, and I've had it for at least 5 or 6 months. So just to show you, it does last quite a long time. So I'm keeping these 2 torches nearby. I don't like to heat up any one torch, although I don't really need both of them for this. When I'm making my roses out of like chiffon, I have to have 2 torches nearby, 2 or 3 of them, because it's constant burning. So anyway, so this is the back and this is the back. I gotta make sure I keep that in check. And what I want you guys to do is to be very careful. Make sure you have some sticks nearby, some tweezers if you start putting things on here, your nippers, in case you need to nip some jewelry that you want to add to it. I have some of these paper roses that I got from Debbie Cottrell over at Bird's Place. Now, I got these quite some time ago, and I just thought they're a pretty cool color and they're lightweight, so I may actually use a couple of those in this. This is a dragonfly that I made some time ago, and I really, really love it. And I'm thinking about adding it as part of the hanger. And then I've got a few pieces of jewelry. My friend Deanna just sent me a whole bunch of jewelry that she, somebody had given her a bunch of old pieces, and she cut them all up, and she literally sent me half and kept half. So thank you, Deanna. I've got a box here that she, look at how cute this box is. It's so super cute. This is one of my images. And then I have this box full of jewelry that she cut up and sent to me just recently here. So thank you so much, Deanna. I will be using all of that jewelry. You know that over time. It takes me a while to use it all, but that's okay. So thank you, Deanna. I appreciate you. And thank you, Sherry, for the resin. That was a wonderful, wonderful birthday present, and I am very excited that I have plenty of resin now to do my projects. Okay, and again, it's BS Resin. I get it on Amazon, and I will put the link in the description menu so that you guys can purchase your own. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to try and get this flattened out a little bit, because I don't want it running all over the place. I have my silicone mat underneath me here. This is my silicone mat, you can see. This is a very big one that my friend Robin sent me, and it covers a great area. I've got my UV lamp over here to my right, and I'm ready to go. So first things first, we're gonna resin the back. Now this is the very back piece. So what am I going to do? I am going to resin the entire thing, and this one can stay flat. So I don't want to worry about I don't have to worry about it, you know, being bent in the middle, so I don't have to save the middle section for later. I'm going to do the entire back. I may do it in parts and pieces because this is a large butterfly, and the bigger the piece, the more likely you are to have some curling or shrinking of the resin. This resin I have found does not shrink like most of the other ones do, not nearly as much. And so that's one of the reasons that I love it so much, is that I don't get a lot of shrinking. So I'm going to try and do this relatively quickly. Although with it being a bigger piece, it starts to get heavy. So that's why we only want to do portions at a time with this. And you guys, this may be an epic fail. I hope it is not. I don't think it will be. I've envisioned it in my head and sort of visualized what it's going to look like, and I'm usually pretty good at that. I have a wild imagination, and it usually doesn't do me wrong. So, okay, so I've got that whole piece covered, and I'm just gonna, well, why are you doing that? Let's get our other one out here. Get our little bubbles out, and I'm gonna set this in my lamp, and I'm just gonna let it roll, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll do sections at a time. We're gonna do one wing here, because we are going to be doing every side of every wing. So yeah, because we're going to show the colored section, and that was my vision. I saw that color on there and I thought, wow, that would be pretty if that showed in between the wings, and maybe I'll have, you know, the 4 wings instead of just the 2 sets. And so my mind went away with me, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to see how this goes. I was planning on doing another video, and I'm still going to do it. My friend Gwen sent me some pendants. I just did an order for her church, and she sent me some goodies, and because she had ordered a whole bunch of the magnets, the faith-based magnets, and sorry, and that was what she ordered. Well, she had ordered the magnets and the crosses, and I, of course, because it's her church, and I enjoy doing some you know, extra work for certain organizations and things, and I've gotten to know Gwen, and so we kind of came to an agreement kind of in between, and so I made her the magnets, and when she sent me her magnets, she actually sent me a few of her crafting supplies so that I could maybe do a video. So I've got some pendants that she sent me, and some chains and stuff, super pretty. And she sent me some images and stuff. I'm not sure that I will use those images in all of them, but I do plan on using them in a few of them, and I've kind of got them set up and ready. And that will be a shorter video, so I wish I had done this sooner. I have not been feeling the greatest lately, so on my days off this last week, I really didn't do much of anything. And I just was really, really, really tired and just didn't have the motivation. So I finished Gwen's order and got those out, and didn't do much of anything else. I had a couple of orders that I had to get out One lady had purchased a birthday present or a gift for someone, and I wanted to get that done and get it to her so that she would have it in time. And so that's just kind of all I really did, was to make sure that I got some stuff done that had to get done. And honestly, the magnets, I could have waited a little longer on those, but I just, you know, you start thinking about something and you think, gosh, what if something happened and I couldn't finish that? Because she had already paid for them, and I couldn't bear the thought of not getting those magnets to her. So I got them done. As hard as it was at moments while I was working on them, I got them done. Okay, we're going to put this one under the light now, and this one's still a little bit soft. It's getting pretty hard, so I want to get this so that it's more flat and not rolling up. And it seems to be, because it's bigger, it's rolling a little bit more than the smaller ones that I do. So that's what I'm saying. The bigger it is, the more chance you've got of more shrinkage and more issues. Same thing with this big one. I'm kind of pulling it out and bending it a little bit as I go, because I don't want I have to turn my light back on. I don't want that shrinkage happening. Or I don't want the rolling of the butterfly. So we want them to look as nice as possible. And the best way to do that is just keep checking and bending, and not so hard that you break it though, you guys. Don't break your butterflies, which I have done, and I've done it on camera. You can always fix it, but you really don't want to have to do that. And I'm just going to the middle on this one because this is the small one. So remember, we don't want to hit the middle on the small one. We just want to do the wings and whatever is kind of on these wings here. Like this one, we've got part of an arm on the wing. We can go over that arm. And the other thing I can do now is I can do the leg, because I will want a couple of layers to go over the leg. I can do the face and the neck right here, and this arm. Okay, so that's kind of, oh my word, that was scary. Oh my goodness, I can't hold it. So there we go. I think I've got that pretty well covered. And pull the other one out and pop that one in. And so you can see there's a little bit of curling on this one. So I'm going to take it and bend it back. Bend it back. And there, now I've got it pretty good and straight there. So that's the back side of the big butterfly. And that's all we're going to do on the back side. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this one up, and we are going to resin this side of the back wing. And once you've got one side sort of resined, it's a lot stiffer, and there's a bigger chance you're going to get a little bit of runoff if you don't do this, you know, as quickly as you can. I mean, I know not everyone's going to be super fast with it. I'm not going to go all the way to the middle where that other wing is touching it, because I don't want these wings to stick together. That would be tragic. It wouldn't be tragic. I take that back. If I had to put the wings together, I wouldn't cry, but I would be bummed because then I'm not doing the project that I initially wanted to do. So I'm going to try not to let those touch. And this is where I just have to be careful and pay attention to what I'm doing. But again, because this is stiffer, I do want to get this done as quickly as I can and get it under that light before it starts dripping off the edges. So we've got that one covered. Okay, and we're going to pop that under the light. Okay, so there's that one, and it's sitting pretty flat. That's just the bottom one that's bent. So that's sitting pretty flat and it looks really good. And this middle section right here is not resined, so that you can see. You can see where it's not shiny in the middle there, and the rest of it is. So that's exactly what we want. Now, same thing on this one. We're going to fold it over, and we're going to resin this inside wing. My puppy's being so good. She's just over there laying down waiting for me to finish. And it's nice because I can just kind of keep going with this and talking to you guys for now. But once I get down to the last bits, I may just do that off camera because you guys are seeing what I'm doing. You can see what has to be done and that we have to take care with it. And I need to get this just a little closer. Not much, just a little bit. There we go. And again with the torch. And pop her under the lamp. So here's this one. Okay. And now I'm going to take and fold this wing up. Just like that. And we're going to do this side. The only thing is, you guys, this is going to use a lot of resin. So just know that. If you're going to do something big like this, you're going to use a lot of your resin. I'm guessing, well, we'll see where I end up when we're done with this. I'm guessing at least half to 2/3 of this bottle will be gone. And that's okay. I don't do a lot of really big stuff like this. Lately, I've been kind of staying away from the really big things. The only time I use a lot of resin is if I am doing like a whole bunch of crosses or butterflies, you know, the little ones in the molds. Then I use a little bit of resin. But that's okay because I'm getting several things done at one time. So, and that's what I did. I did Gwen's magnets. And do you know, I forgot to take pictures of those before I sent them off. I was actually going to try and do a video on them, but I decided it was better to get them done than to worry about getting a video. So that's what I did. Okay, sorry you guys, I had a little bit of a drip there. And I'm going to pop that under the light and let it cook. And there we've got this one done. So now we're going to pop the other wing up like that. And it doesn't matter. There's a little spot in there that I didn't color. I think I decided that I didn't need to because they were going to be glued together. But nobody's going to see that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I have to remember to wipe up that drip that's on my mat. Gonna drip right there. Okay, so this is the time-consuming stuff right here, you guys. Well, for me, I mean, embellishing is always very time-consuming because I just tend to go a little back and forth with things and change my mind. But that's okay. Okay, I'm going to pull that one out. I'm going to pop that one in. Now, these may not be completely cured like hardcore, but they are cured, and that's okay because they're going to go under that lamp several times and they're going to be fine. They're, in the end, they're all going to be completely cured. Okay, so now I think what I'm going to do, this is going to be the harder part. The top wing is going to be a little bit harder. In fact, I think I'm going to do the front of the top wing first. And then I'll do the underneath side. And this one, this is the bottom wing. This is the big butterfly. I'm not going to do the center of this one yet because these wings, these top wings on this one are going to be folded up a little bit. So each wing, as the layer gets closer to the top, the layering, is going to get a little more bend in it so that they're fluttering. You know, we need that flight effect. But that bottom wing has to be the flat one. So I'm going to go right to the edge there. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this whole thing done. But here's the thing, now that I'm on this one, I kind of have to hold on to it under the light for a few seconds in order to get the resin started curing so that it doesn't drip off. So I have to do a little bit more holding and babysitting on these as I move up. Okay, so I think I got that pretty well covered. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that one's must be losing its zeal. Okay, had one spot there. Okay, so now I'm going to hold this one under the light for a second and just kind of hold it so that it is kind of sitting flat. I'm holding it up so that it is flat, I should say. So that you can see that it's not in a position where it's all going to roll down to the middle where you don't want it to go. Because you want to be able to bend everything and stick everything correctly to that wing. So now, here we go. The bottom one's done on this one. We can still move those wings. And now I need to do the top one, and I'm going to make sure I do not want it to be rolled up or anything. I could, as long as these aren't touching here, I can do this top one. I want it to be as flat as I can get it right now. So that's what I'm going to be working at trying to accomplish here, is keeping this wing as flat as I can under the light so that it doesn't drip. And so that it lays right once we do our final bending and positioning of the wings. We want it to sit right. So I'm just going to be real careful. And there's not going to be a huge space between these, between the colored, the marked ones and the image ones. I just want a little bit of space between them so that you can see that other color popping through. So that's kind of what we're we're trying to accomplish. I got to look under my lamp and see where we're at with this one. And it looks like I got it all. Okay. And pull that one out and pop that one in for a minute. And I do need to quickly make this one not so rolled up. There. And get that one back to flat. That's the hard part. Because you're trying to do two things at one time and making sure that everything ends up the way that you want it to be. And I'm just kind of rolling, and that looks pretty darn good. And you can see there's not a huge space between these butterflies. And once I get these completely resined, I don't really need to resin this bottom of the top, of the bottom wing, and I don't know that I will. I may just leave that one the way it is. This one I want resined though, because it's going to be seen. This one you're not going to see. So I think that I can save resin by doing that. I mean, I'll kind of decide in the end. If in the end I feel like it needs to be resined, I will absolutely do it. But I'm thinking I don't really need to, and the less resin I can use, the better, because number one, I'm saving resin, and number two, I'm saving weight, because this could get pretty heavy, especially once I've embellished it. And that was kind of the reason I chose those paper flowers to possibly embellish them with, because they're nice and lightweight, and they're not going to add a lot of extra weight to this butterfly. I just hope this turns out as pretty as I think it's going to. I really do. And this one, if it turns out the way I think it's going to, you guys, it will go in my shop. How quickly I'll sell it, I don't know, because it's going to be an expensive one. Because this is very time consuming and very expensive. Even though I do get the gifts of resin and embellishments and all of that stuff, it still takes away from, you know, my time and my income, because this is my extra income, you guys. I've got to fold this back before it gets completely hard. There we go. It was starting to get pretty hard there. There. And then once this part is done, if I have gotten any fingerprints on this part, which is highly likely, I can put a little more resin over these top wings and, you know, finish it off, make it really shine and do exactly what I want it to do. And this one I'm going to just kind of fold these over a little bit, and we'll get this side. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on this butterfly. I don't think I'm going to do the inside of the top wing. I just don't think it's necessary. Sometimes less is more. that out and pop that under there and hold it for just a minute. These are some of the stuff that Deanna cut off, those necklaces and things she got too. These are super heavy though, so I don't know whether I will use them or not. I do feel like I want to use this because I think it's going to look really beautiful on it, and I've been wanting to use that on something, so I'm thinking this might be the perfect project. I hate using things like this because I hate to let them go, but that's why I have them. That's why people send them to me, so that I'll use them in my projects and make everything beautiful. So, and they want to see their stuff get used. You know, they don't give it to me to sit there and hold on to it. So, okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to do her leg. Now, we already did the bottom side of her face and her leg. Now we're just doing the top side. And her arm and hand. And I think I'm going to go to right there. Okay. Let's let that go for a minute. And this one, it's a little bit bent up here, more than I really wanted it to be. But it has gotten pretty hard, and it's not going to be easy to really... This piece doesn't have as much resin on it, but this one's got a pretty thick coat of resin. And that's why it's sometimes better, too, you guys, if you just use a thin coat the first time around. Like this side is pretty thin on both sides, so it's okay. Okay, so there we go. That one is pretty much ready to go. Okay. And you can see how floppy it is here. I've been bending these wings, so it's a little bit weak right there, but that's okay because we're going to resin it and we're going to strengthen that right back up. Okay, so now I got her face and her arm and her leg done. And it's just this section here that we want to be able to fold. So, okay, so now I'm going to take this middle section of this bottom butterfly and I'm going to fill it with resin, meeting the resin that's on the wing. We want those to touch so that one bit of the resin grabs onto the other part. And I'm going to turn my lamp on, and I'm going to hold this under my lamp kind of like that. Just folding those wings up just ever so slightly, but giving them strength and purpose and all of that good stuff. And I need to be still. There we go. And again, that one is pretty flat, and we don't want it to be raised up much. And then I will take and I will put some resin in between in here, especially on this big one, to hold it in place, because it's still a little bit weak right there, and this just popping some resin right in there between the two wings is going to help strengthen it. And I'm putting it under my light like this. And I don't want my light next to my resin bottle, because then I'm going to end up curing this resin, and I don't want to do that. I mean, that's the purpose for the dark bottle, so that doesn't happen, but some of that light still can get through and cure that resin. Ask me how I know. I had some clear bottles and I had put some resin in them thinking, oh, these are great little squeezy bottles. I could put resin in them and they'll be great. And then I didn't think about the fact that they were clear bottles. And that light, I had it sitting next to my light for a period of time, and all of the resin inside that bottle cured. And thankfully, I only had a tiny bit. It was a tiny little bottle and a tiny little bit of resin. I mean, a couple of tablespoons was all it was, really. But I was still like, oh gosh, I'm so glad that happened with something that didn't have a lot of resin in it. And then I will be putting this back under the light again in this in-between part. But what I do want to do is I'm going to take a little squirt of my Let's resin, and I'm going to put this, because this is thicker resin, I'm going to put this, just a layer of that right up here again to provide additional strength to this beautiful butterfly. And we'll pop it back under the light. And there we go. So now what we have to do is we're going to have to bend these up, and these are already kind of in a good position on this butterfly. So all I'm going to be doing is sort of pressing up the bottom wing to get my shape. But I got to get my top one ready, or my bottom one ready first, before I put resin in the middle of this girl. And then at the end, I will put some resin on the back side of her. And I want to let that light really cure that resin in the middle of that big butterfly. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am adding a little bit more resin to these top wings on the bottom butterfly. So I've already done this side. I'm going to add some to the other side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's come on in just a little bit more here. Now for her, we are going to, you know, I feel like too with her, I want to add another layer of resin to these top wings. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back, you guys, and then we'll do the centerpiece. Okay, so we've got this one done, and you can see it's completely resined, except for that inside layer. And that's why I had to add resin to these top butterflies on both of these, because they weren't resined on the back side, so it made them a little floppier than I liked. So now all I need to do is I need to put some resin in the center. I'm going to use my Let's resin because I want a thicker layer of resin in the center here to hold everything together. And I did the same thing. I put a layer of this Let's resin on the other one as well. And I'm going to just take this and drag it right up her arms and down her leg, because we want those bits to be strong. And then when I put this under the light, I'm going to hold it up so that the wing spread is the way that I want it. So I'm going to just kind of hold this for a minute so that it's exactly the way I want it. Hopefully it'll be exactly the way I want it. I may have to put some resin on the bottom side of this one as well to get that bottom wing, because you'll remember the bottom of this little one is not is not resined in the middle. So it could be a little floppy if I don't resin that center piece. So I will probably do that. I'll figure out exactly where I need it to bend at, and I'll do that and make the whole thing pretty stiff so that it's exactly the way I want it. Because doing this part, I'm only doing the front side. You can see that. The front side's nice and bent the right way. Looks like I missed a little spot of resin there, but I think I'm okay with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this here and see exactly how I want her to be. Make sure she's going in the right direction. And so I've got to bend this one pretty good to get it in the right spot. So I'm going to make sure it's bent just like that. I'm going to pop my resin on the bottom here. Let it get around the corner there a little bit so that it's touching the resin on the other side. And this is going to drip. That's why I don't like having to do this. But that's okay. We're going to get it under the light pretty quickly so that the drip is not too bad and not too visible, and it got my hand. So let me, it's dripping right down onto my finger. Okay. Well, that's a bummer, but that's okay. We'll fix that in a minute. Right now, we just need to get that resin to cure and stay in place where it's at. But there's really no way I can do anything about that because it was bent. I could have used a tiny thin layer by layer. That's probably what I should have done. And there's where I get impatient and I don't think about the best way to do things sometimes. I know how to do it the best way, but I don't always think of it. But then again, this is the back side of the butterfly, and nobody's going to see that drip on the back of that wing. So I'm not terribly concerned. You can't see that drip once she's down like that. You see, it's going to be completely covered. Just bend it a little bit while it's still a little soft, and that's how I want her to look. And you guys, I think I was right by leaving those solid ones separated, and I'm super duper excited. Now I need to see, how do I want to do this? Part of me feels like I want to use my B7000 to glue her on instead of the resin, because I don't know how well. I guess my lamp will get in there. I think I'll be okay. So I'm going to just put resin there. I'm going to put resin there. And here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to put a layer of B7000 right in the center, because my UV lamp is not going to get to that middle section. It just isn't. So if I have that B7000 in there, then I know I'm going to be safe in the middle. So I'm going to go like this. Oh, shoot. I need to flip that over that way. And I'm going to get my lamp in there. Come on, light. Thank you. There, I'm going to just get my lamp in there. And I don't mind holding it for a few minutes. That's okay. Uh-oh. I don't want to leave my resin sitting right there for sure. But I'm going to also do this side like that. I'm going to just pour some resin in there and put it under the lamp. Okay, this is not making me happy. There, hold it, Carol. You want to hold it as still as you can. And I'm going to fold this one up. I'm going to pour some resin right in there and try and hold that one up. Sorry, lamp. Hold that one up. Keep that one held up. And that way I think I can get her just in the position that I want her. But I have to be patient and I have to hold those wings until that resin starts to cure. You can see if your hands are shaky, you'll see that the shaking gets less and less and less as that resin gets harder and harder and harder. So you can see where you're kind of at that place where it's going to pretty much stay where you have it, and or at least be close, and you'll be happy. Okay, and I do have some resin drips right down here on the bottom, looks like. That's okay. We're going to go over that again as well. But I don't want the big drips on there. So I'm just wiping that off with a little wipey. I'm doing better with keeping my wipes close by. Upcoming here, you guys, I am going to be getting this craft room in tip-top shape. Right now, you would not even believe it. You would be so ashamed of me if you saw what my craft room looks like right now. And I've been trying and trying and trying to find the time to get it in shape, and I just have not had the time to do it. So I am going to be taking some time, and I'm imagining it's going to take me probably a couple of weeks to get it all kind of cleaned up, but I need to get some bins. I have 0 of the big clear bins, and I need some of those to put laces and big things in. And then I need to get some smaller bins to put, you know, jewelry bits and ribbons and things like that separated out. And I just have got to figure out how to get this all worked out, you guys, because I cannot work like this anymore. It is just overwhelming to work in a space that you can't be proud of. And I am not proud of my craft room right now, you guys. Terribly, terribly not proud. And I would be so embarrassed if any one of you were to see what my craft room looks like. Seriously. So I will be taking some time to do that. And I'm hoping that during that time I can find a space where I can still craft and do my videos and be in a better place. So there we go. I'm seeing a little more of this than I really, really, really wanted to, and I'm kind of bummed about that, because I wanted those to be a little closer together like that. And I just wonder if I was to put resin here, right in the middle, and maybe take this lamp and hold it right there. I don't want to put that there. This one's empty, so I can do that. And I'm going to try holding that down a little bit and seeing if I can get that top layer of resin to open this up a little bit. So that I don't have quite so much of the blue popping through. And this resin, when I put it back under the lamp and I've got this other resin on top, it will soften up some. So it will allow me to adjust it some. But there's quite a bit of resin right there, and so I don't know if this is going to help or not, but it's still gorgeous. I don't care. It's still absolutely gorgeous with that blue-green layer showing through. So I'm just thrilled about that. I don't need you. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of pressing these together a little bit so that they're just not quite so open. And I think that will be okay. It's actually quite a bit less than it was, but it's okay. It looks gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my word, you guys. I'm so excited about this. This is just beautiful. I want to pop a couple of these flowers off here and see what they will look like. Now they're a sort of a blue-green color, but not really. But I still think, look at how pretty those look. Oh my word. Look at that, you guys. So these get a thumbs up from me, for sure. A definite thumbs up from me. I love these paper flowers. These are what I started out using, and I love them, and I've never stopped loving them. So to use these in something right now, I didn't even know I had them. I found them the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I still have those. And then when I started doing this, I happened to look over and realize I saw these flowers, and I went, oh my gosh, those would be so pretty with that butterfly. So that's kind of where I went with it, and I truly believe they look gorgeous. Look at that. And I don't know if I want to go kind of like this on both of them. One here and one in here. I think that looks beautiful, doesn't it, you guys? I think that looks gorgeous. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to use these roses. I was considering using these around the outside, but I decided not to do that because I don't think the color... I mean, they would be pretty. Deanna sent me these, and I love, love, love these pearls on the wire. I love pearls on wire. So I will save those for another project. But the other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to put this in here somewhere. Maybe I can push that up. Push that up a little. And put this sort of like right there. And leave these down sort of to the bottom. I don't know. What do you think, you guys? Is this too much? I mean, I know it's big, but this is a big butterfly. She's a big girl. And the only thing is that it's pink. I wish so much that this was a bluish color, but here's the other thing I can do. Where did I put them? I've got, I don't need those. And you guys can go in the bucket. I have got some dangles here, a few of them. I've got one of these. which you guys know, these are kind of my favorites. I could just put one of those in there and have that hanging down. It's very simple and not crazy. I've got this one, which is gorgeous and a little different, so I could pop that one in there. She's definitely going to have a dangle, and that looks really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. I really like that. And these are just earrings that came from Temu, you guys. I also have these, and I know they're not blue, but they are beautiful. I had a magnet in there. These are pink flowers, but that looks pretty as well. Just the little bit of pink. I mean, it's okay to mix and match colors, you guys, especially when you're talking about adding, you know, maybe a little bit of pink or whatever to something like this. We could take that and then put those over the top and have a nice dangle. Let's see. What else do I have in here? I've got these. Oh, this is pretty too. This is just a little bit of pearls and rhinestones. I've got this little guy. I mean, I could add that to something. If I took this, do I want that to go there or down there? I kind of like it. Well, here's what we're going to do. First things first. One thing I do need to do is I need to add my piece at the top. Right here. Because she's going to need that. So, I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue on each corner here and center that just like that. And that way I can resin it on and know that it's straight. Okay. That is a little bit crooked, so. Just like that. Okay, and then I can take my resin and just gently go over this and over this, trying to do this as quickly as I can to get less spreading of the resin and get that cured. A few seconds, it starts to harden up on the outer layer of it and it stops dripping. So that's what we're trying to do here, is get that dripping to stop. And it did a great job. Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more time under the lamp here, so I think, see, I've got some not so pretty areas on the back of this, like right here. I'm gonna put another layer of resin over the entire back of this as soon as, even though I know it's not gonna show, it's gonna be against the wall, but I can't leave it like that. Here in the middle of her, there's some spots too, but I'm not so worried about those because we are going to take and add some flowers in this section right around her dress. And so that's going to cover up that one little spot that just is not gorgeous. Let's see. And then here's a little tiny blue and white one. Oops. And that's going to go right there. So that will kind of go in the center there. Actually, I think I'm going to drip some resin in there and let that do its thing. Okay. All right, I'm going to put my lamp over the top of this and I will be right back. Okay, everybody, here we go. We are going to, let's see, let's get these situated how we want them. That one I'm going to have to glue in because it doesn't want to sit real well. So I think those are going to go like, actually, that. And then these, we're going to put one down here and one up here. Go like that. Like that. I think that's going to be really, really, really pretty. I really like that. I'm going to pop this in here, just like that. And then I also want to pop some of these rhinestones. I've got this piece that is absolutely gorgeous. And I do want to get this in here somewhere. I just haven't decided exactly where. I was thinking right here would be a perfect spot. Right in there. And then if I can get a couple of these little rhinestones in here. Sort of like, this is going to be hard to get these to sit, so I'm going to have to use some glue to put them down, but I'll just kind of put these together sort of like that to put in that spot. So I think the best thing for me to do to make that happen is to pop a little bit of resin right here between them. Like that. Very quickly get my lamp. And at least those will be stuck together. Like that. So you see how easy that was. And then, let's see, I got this too. And I looked at this and thought maybe that would be pretty because it matches. It matches with the green in here and it just looks gorgeous. But I don't feel like I can put two dangles on her. right? I can't, can I? And then I thought I was thinking if I put that there and put this one sort of coming off over here somewhere, it might be okay. Or is it just too much? I mean, this looks so pretty. Right there. It looks so pretty. It's just a short dangle, but it really does look beautiful. And I don't always have to have the long dangles, but gosh, this is such a big butterfly. I feel like she deserves, you know, a grandiose sort of appearance. And then if I put those in there, look at that. Oh my word, you guys. So beautiful. And I've got this. I thought maybe I could pop that in over there. And then take this piece. I want this on here. And these two I could resin together as well. And this is the beauty of having this beautiful, beautiful mat here, because I can just drop that resin right on there and do it right from my working space. Just put that on there for a few seconds. Do. Okay, and that will be stuck together. And I still got a couple more of these. I've got this one too. I mean, I want to really, really make her gorgeous. You know what? I really do love this on there. So I think she's going to get this in here. I know it's not super long, but that's okay. It's super beautiful. And then, let's see. Okay, let's see. I've got a couple of these. Maybe this would be better, sort of over here. Or maybe on the other side. Like right, whoopsies, right in there. No, that's not sitting right. Not sure about that one. I've got these leafy looking ones as well, and these are kind of pretty. And they're just sort of white. I could take those and put those in there somewhere, but I don't want to. I've got to have this rose here. I just have to, because it just works right there. I guess what I need to do is I just need to start putting these things down and getting them secured and go from there. So we're going to pop this one and we're just going to use our hot glue. She's going right in there. Okay, and then we've got these two. You go there. Need a little more glue. I need to go buy some glue sticks. I am running almost out. Only got a few little, and these are the little short sticks, so they don't last too long to begin with. So I really do need to go and get some more over. I'll just go get some at the Dollar Tree. That's what I can afford right now, so that is where I will go. And their glue sticks are not terrible. I haven't had any trouble with them. So I figure they'll do me for a little while. Okay, got that one there. And then I want this one right back in there. Okay, so those are all in. This, I'm going to just pop a little bit of glue on the tip of those just to get them in place. And then I can put resin in after the fact. And then we've got, where's the other one? I wonder if I should just pop these on the other side of that rose. Like that. That looks really pretty. I think that's a great idea. Or I could put them on this side of this rose. And maybe that's what I need to do. I need to sort of separate them. So I'm going to put some glue right here and just set that in there. Okay. And I've got some more of these little bits and pieces that I can add. And we'll just do the same thing here. Dot of glue. And just like that. And then, let's see. Okay, let's see. I don't know where I want these to go yet. I'm just kind of... can put that one right there. That one does look pretty there, I think. Just like that. Okay. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. This one I want right there. I think that's a good spot for that. Either there or right there. Actually, that's a good spot too. Do I want to put it right there? Kind of fills in both sides of these roses there. Or I could put it right there, and I could drop maybe I'm gonna hit these two with some resin here. She's going to be quite blinged out, you guys. That is for sure. But I am okay with that. She deserves lots and lots of beauty all around her. looks pretty down there too. This I thought was a really good spot for that. So I think I'm going to go back with my initial choice there. Maybe if I put that right in there, I think that's a good spot for that one. Okay. So, another thing that I have is I have this beautiful bow that's going to go somewhere. Probably up in the hanging portion. What about this? I don't like that there. I also have these pretty bits here. Don't want to use them all up, but a little bit would be nice. Okay, so what else do I have here? I could just take a couple of these and put them right here. And you need some glue. And we'll pop this right there. And then we're going to resin all of these in place. That does not go there. That will go in there, actually. Nope, I don't want that. I'm trying very hard to fill in all of the gaps here, but not go too insane with what I'm adding. Those are way too big. Sorry, Deanna. I thought maybe those were gonna work. So let's see. Let me dig through my stuff here. I've got this beauty, but that's quite big too. And I think I'm going too far with the bling bling, adding too much bling bling. If I continue just adding and adding and adding, it's not gonna look good. It's just gonna look gaudy. I think that's a nice amount of bling. I wish I had a couple more of the paper roses, but I would like to have one more paper rose on this side, but that's okay. If we don't have it, that's okay. I am going to pop this right here. There we go. And let's see. Nope. always like to have a little bit of clear rhinestones mixed in with my other rhinestones. I feel like it breaks things up a little bit better. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not really finding spots to put them, and I'm not going to hide them behind stuff because I run out of clear rhinestones way too fast, and then I end up not having them for other things, and I wonder why, because I used them in things that didn't really need them, and I don't like doing that. Maybe I should put that right there. Yes, I think that's what I'll do there. So you get a little glue on you. Okay. So I think everything is kind of stuck down there. Look at how beautiful that is, you guys. Is she gorgeous? Yes, she is. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're gorgeous. And I am putting that right there. Yay. I wasn't sure it would look right, but it actually looks really pretty right there. Just like that. Okay. All right, you guys. I feel like this piece, I really, really wanted to use it, but I feel like, well, maybe right there actually is a good spot for it. Kind of fills in that blank. Yep, I think we're going to pop that one in right there, and we're going to call it. And then we're going to add our resin. I'm going to add our resin in here. This is so pretty, and I really wanted to use it for something. Actually, it would have been pretty just like that. But I'm going to be using this probably in one of my pendants that Gwen sent me, because I've got those to do still. In fact, I'm going to put that in the pendant bag so that it's there. Okay, so we're going to drop these in here because I'm trying to keep these separate from my other rhinestones and stuff, because I don't want to run out of them. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful with them. I do have this, and I sure would like to use that. It'd be pretty to have one of these on each side on that first set of wings, on each side right there. But I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Okay. Alrighty. We've still got this. And of course it's not going on her. I'm wondering if I was to put this next to that. That would be really, really pretty. Okay, you. You're going just like that. Okay, you guys, I'm going to start putting some resin in here. And we're not going to worry too much about details on this right now. We're just going to get the resin on there, let it drip in, and let it push these down, or attach them, I should say, push them down. And then I can add a final layer of resin wherever I feel like I need to. Like to fill in, like if I've got any lumps and bumps, we'll cover those up with a final layer of resin, and which we probably will have from using this resin to get all of these things attached, and that's okay. There, I'm just gonna get it on there. Okay. So for right now, I feel like maybe I'm okay. We're gonna put the lamp on, and oh, I wanted to put this down. I definitely want to use this in with this beautiful pendant here. So I think if I kind of put it off to the side like that, we will be good. Or maybe like up over it. Yeah, like right there. Okay. All right. We're going to put the lamp on 5 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got everything resined. I re-resined the back side of the bottom wings so that that part would be done. And let me see, let me wipe this a little bit because I see a little bit of resin on there. Oh, it's already cured from my lamp. That's okay. All right, so now the piece de resistance is, I really wanted to put some of these rhinestones here and there, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I really feel like we've got plenty of bling bling on this beautiful, beautiful piece. But I did get everything resined in. Everything is set perfectly. And the only thing that we have left to do is I really wanted to place this here and have that be the top of the piece. So that's kind of how I'm envisioning this. I hope you guys aren't screaming at me right now saying no, 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 but I love it because the colors go, and it's just that it just gives it that final bit of just gorgeousness. So I am going to resin this to this right there, and I'm going to use my Let's resin for that. I'm going to leave it right on my silicone pad here, and I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of resin right there for now, just to get it on there. I'll leave that right there, and I'm just going to let that simmer for a second under the lamp. And I really want to get this on there somewhere. I don't know where though. I mean, I could take it and just put it, I could have gone right in there, but that's like too much on both sides. So we may not get this on there, but I really, really, really did want to. I just think it would kind of set the whole thing off. I was thinking, where are they? These right here. Because I do have some gold in this around a lot of these pieces, I was thinking these would be pretty to have a string of these going across the back, you know, and just sort of landing like that. not over the top of these, but behind them, and just have that swag of pearls and gold. I think it would be pretty, but I'm just not sure enough. Maybe if I lift these, put that sort of right there, and let those hang in front, like that. Because I did add one more piece to this, behind this, just to add some sort of golden resin or rhinestones to the back of it, because I felt like it needed a little something to kind of fill in. It was a little sparse with just those roses. So I did add a little bit more to that, but I just don't know about this. Or I could take, I've got my silver as well. I've also got this, which is very, very pretty. I bought this chain a little while back just for this reason, because I thought it would be pretty and simple to add to some pieces, you know, just to add a little swag, and it's got that pink in it. That would be very pretty. I should add a little piece of this over here too, just kind of hanging down with those. I think that would be pretty too. It's funny how you get these pieces with this really thin gold, and that thin gold is harder to cut than it is the hard gold. Or the steel, I should say. I think it'd be pretty with a little piece of that hanging in there. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to just add a dot of resin right there, right over the top of that. I'm going to pop that right over there, and I'll cut it off as soon as I get it hooked. And maybe I'll just leave it at that. And again, I will be popping my lamp back over this whole thing to make sure that all of my resin is cured all the way around. I'll twist it, I'll turn it, I'll do everything I have to do to make sure everything is good to go. Isn't that chain pretty? I just love this stuff. The necklaces made with those used to be really popular, and I had a couple of them back in the day when I used to wear a business suit to work every day. And I just loved them. And I got so many compliments on them. Every time I wore them, I got compliments. Okay, so we've got this attached. Now, what I want to do is I want to attach it really well back here. So again, we're going to add more resin. We're just going to fill up that little hole. And very, very quickly, we are going to pop that light on over the top so that we can get that resin curing, because I think it's probably going to drip through a couple of those holes. But that's okay. I can clean that up. I'm not worried about that. And then I'm going to try and straighten out this dragonfly a little bit by adding a little more resin to the body to straighten it out. I'm going to hold it in place just straight as an arrow while it cures and see if that, because it doesn't have a thick layer of resin on the body right now. So and I think that'll be good for that right at the moment. And then we'll go ahead grab our resin, and I'm just going to go right down the body there. And I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to just straighten out that body as best I can, holding it like this. I just want this to hang as straight as possible on a wall. And the best way to do that is to make sure that body of the dragonfly is nice and straight. And I can already feel it kind of going into place. And I can see that it's pretty doggone straight. Look at that. So that makes me happy. And we are going to leave this on here for a decent amount of time so that it can go ahead and get it all cured. In fact, I'll just let it sit right like that. And I'll be right back. Okay. Just some strings I cut off. Okay, so I decided that okay, we've got this all together now. I'm really, really happy with the way it looks. I think it's very, very pretty. There's that. You guys can see the whole thing. Okay, let me get this stuff out of my way. I can hang this back up. I'm not going to put the swag at the bottom. I don't think we need to do that. So I've put enough into this beautiful, beautiful piece, and I think it's perfect the way it is. So I don't want to overindulge myself and end up making it gaudy and ugly because I couldn't stop adding things to it. So initially I was thinking, I pulled this out to see if maybe that would be pretty, you know, like to have something that she's looking at. But I think that was too much too. And then I was looking at this one to put that there. But then again, I think that's one bit too many. So, and this, I did think maybe I would pop this in somewhere because I've got one on this side. I did pop that in earlier just because. And it would be pretty to add, but this is my last blue porcelain flower. I have no more blue ones after this. So I feel like I'm gonna use my last one and then I'll need it. You know, inevitably something will happen and I will need that flower and I won't have it. So I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I thought maybe a pink one, but look at this. When you put the pink one in, even though we've got pink over here, I just kind of feel like that pink flower there. Well, actually, it doesn't look bad on that side. It adds a little bit of pink over here. I did try it over here, and I didn't like it. But there, it actually kind of draws some pink into this side, so maybe that's not a bad idea. But here again, I'm almost out of pink and blue now because the last time the lady sent me more white ones, and now I have a million purple flowers and a few white ones and nothing else. No pink, no blue. So that's frustrating. I wish they would put the exact same number of each color flower in. And that way it's equal all the way around. I think I am going to add that flower right in there because I think it really, really does look gorgeous right there. So that's just going to take another little squirt of resin in there. I'm just going to pop it right on top of those. Oops, I dripped on my flower. Oh no. Just gotta, that's okay. Okay, let me just pop this light on for just a minute here. And then we're going to glue this on. And we will be done, you guys. Finally. I want to thank you guys for coming along and watching this video, watching me put this one together. I hope you love it. I do. And this little beauty will be going into my Etsy shop, but I'm just going to forewarn you, it will be expensive, you guys. It just will be. So I'm sorry about that, but it's just 3 times the size of any other one that I've ever done. As far as my butterflies are concerned, and it's got a whole lot more going into it than most of the ones that I do because of its size and everything. But it's also one of the most beautiful, I believe, that I've done. The only thing I'm questioning myself on is, do I want to add any glass glitter? Now this has glass glitter in it, and it really does add to it. You know what, you guys, I think we're going to add a little bit of glass glitter to this baby. I think she deserves some glass glitter, and I've got it right here next to me. Right here, this is my Twinklets glass glitter. Right here. So, let's see. We're going to use our thin BS resin here. And I think, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one of my little cups that came with the resin that Sherry sent me. And these cups don't come apart very easily. Goodness gracious. There we go. Finally. Let's put a little bit of resin in this cup, because I don't want to overdo it with the resin. And we're going to take, let's take this little brush here, and we'll brush some resin on there in some spots, like right here. And right here. And let's pop some on these edges here. And back down in here. And I'm just painting a nice thin coat of resin on there. And this way I can do the whole thing at one time, because I won't have any running. I haven't used any glass glitter in a little bit, so why not? And then I will also make sure that I get a moving video to put into this this video, so that you guys can get a view of what it looks like in the light, you know, in the good light, and when it's hanging. Because sometimes it's hard for me on these videos to really give you a good angle of my pieces and how they look when they're actually hanging. And yeah, I can get still photos, but also in the still photos you don't really catch the glass glitter so much. So yeah, there's different things you can do to add, you know, to the visuals when you want somebody to really see what the whole thing looks like. And the best way I do that is by doing short video clips after I make my pieces. And I will also post, I will post that in Happy Bird's Glitter Nest. So you will be able to see this and that short video in Happy Bird's Glitter Nest. And I will... that way you guys can get a good idea of what the final piece, really, the whole thing looks like all done. And thank goodness for Lori and Happy Bird's Glitter Nest, because she has been a amazing, amazing mentor to me, and she allows me to post all of my videos and things like that, and my YouTube videos and everything. She's just been a guiding light for me, and I just love her so, so, so much. She is just such a great friend. And these little spoons really are not ideal for this, because I barely get any glass glitter on there when I use it, and I have to keep dipping and dipping and dipping. I like to do it with my fingers, honestly, because I can get it done faster, but you shouldn't do that because this is glass and you can cut yourself, so you really shouldn't use your fingers. But I do. I know I shouldn't, but I do. Have a few lumps in here from dripping resin into my jar. Okay. Now I need to get over here, up at the top. And then I'll stick it under the lamp again for another 5 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. So beautiful. I love glass glitter. I love it, love it, love it. It just makes things a little bit more, you got to keep stuff like this out of the reach of kids. So if you hang it on the wall, hang it on a little bit higher spot. But outside of that, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. It just gives that beautiful sparkle that we all know and love, especially me. You guys know I'm the sparkle queen. And I blame Lori for that, because Lori made me love sparkle. She's just the greatest at sparkling things up. Whether it be with regular glitter or glass glitter. She used to use a lot of glass glitter. I don't know that she does anymore. But she's the one that got me started with... oops. I didn't get any resin on this piece. Missed one. The glitter just slid right off of it. There we go. I hate leaving my brush just sitting there like that. Not that it's drying up, but just I know it's going to fall off and get resin all over something. Resin is a messy beast to work with, you guys. It's fun and you can make so many beautiful things with it, but it is a beast. And I missed a section on here too. I don't know how I did that. I thought I got that whole thing. I was sure I did. Okay, come on now. Okay, now let's get that on there. There's another chunk. We don't save the chunks. We throw those in the trash. Okay, now I'm just going to check around here. Make sure I got it everywhere I wanted it. I'm pushing in the edges here so that we don't have any glass glitter hanging over the edges. Little shards or whatever. So you don't want to have those hanging out. So I just kind of go around everything and push it in. And then best thing to do after that is to tap, tap, tap over the top just to lay those little pieces of glass down that might be standing up. And I do this with my fingers. I've never cut myself doing this part because it's just a matter of barely touching the top and pushing laying the glass down, and it doesn't like go into your fingers. It's just like a soft tap. So, okay, I think I got it pretty well. All right, so there we go. I'm going to pop this under the lamp, and then I will show you the beautiful, beautiful sparkle that we're going to get out of this. So let me put her under there. Oh boy, we've got so much on her. She's not going to be easy to get in there. I'm going to take the top off the lamp for a second. Here we go. And I am actually going to turn the bottom of the lamp on too. And there we go, because that will bring light up underneath it too. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so whoops, I didn't glue this on. This is the last thing we have to do. And we will be all done, you guys. Yay! You're probably going, oh my goodness, it's about time. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth the wait to get that final result. And in this case, I think that would be true. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on one side, and I have the B7000 on the other side. I'm just going to pop that right there. And then we'll put the ribbons kind of so that they're not covering her face and her arm. And that hot glue will keep it in place until that B7000 gets cured. So that is it, you guys. She is all done. I hope you guys love this as much as I do. I think she is absolutely gorgeous. And some of you may think these blue flowers are not good, but I think they are perfect in here. I think they make her look amazing. And something just happened. Oh, that glued. Whoopsies. The glue went through the little piece. So anyway, I think she looks amazing with a couple of other color variations in her, and so I'm super duper happy with the way she turned out. I already had the ball chain on this dragonfly, so I just left that on there as a hanger piece. And boy, I am just thrilled at this piece. I am thrilled. I think she looks absolutely stunning. And again, I will put a video at the beginning. I might put it at the beginning of this so that you can see at the very beginning what you're in for when we do the video. I think that's very helpful. So I will do that, and I want to show you guys. Let's just pick her up for a minute and see if we can get all of that sparkle. Do you see the sparkle in this gorgeous piece of wall art? Oh my goodness, look at that. She is just absolutely gorgeous. So again, I will get a video in a hanging position as well, because you guys do know I like to do that, and I will post it in Happy Birds Glitter Nest, and I will post the video as soon as it goes up into Happy Birds Glitter Nest. I'm thinking this will probably be my Saturday morning video for this upcoming weekend, which would be Saturday, let's see, whoops. Let me get my calendar up here. Saturday, I think it's the 28th. June 28th. So that is when you should be seeing this video. Well, you're already there, so you know. But yeah, this is the day that I had planned on posting it. I want to get another video up before the weekend because I missed Sunday this last weekend. I just, again, was not feeling well, and I just couldn't make myself do it. So I'll see what I can do. I'm still not feeling great, but I am forcing myself to get things done, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if I either take myself down or what. My employers got me working 5 days in a row again, starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and I don't know if I can do that. Unfortunately, that's how I get my days, and then they got me like 3 days off after that. But I have a hard time working 5 days in a row, so I don't know how I'm going to do with that one. But if I can, maybe I'll get somebody to switch a couple of days around so that I can get a day off in between there somewhere. I'm hoping I can do that, because then I can, hopefully make it through the week. If not, then I end up running myself down, and I end up having to call off sick because I don't feel well, and then I lose the day altogether. So hopefully I can figure something out. But anyway, I've got lots of work coming up. I need to get this video up. I need to get at least one more for Sunday, and I want to get one more. I really wanted to get one more for this week to make up for Sunday of last weekend. So I don't know how I'm going to do, but I'm going to give it a shot, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. God bless each and every one of you. And you guys, I can't thank you enough. To Sherry, thank you for the resin that helped me to create this. To Deanna, thank you for the bits and pieces you sent me in the mail. I'll be showing more of those coming up. And thank you to Robin for all of the beautiful little dangles and earrings and things that you've sent me, and the some of the rhinestone pieces. Thank you, Sherry, for this. And there's so much I could thank everybody for. But for this particular video, that's where I'm going with this. I just want to make sure that that you all know how much I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do for me and the channel. And let's grow this channel, you guys. Give it a thumbs up and a comment, and you will be helping. You have no idea how much you'll be helping my channel grow. So thanks a lot, you guys. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.